I just wanted us all to remember that classic. What's up, everybody? It's Luke James, not the singer. If you're an indie artist looking for an album review and some promo, you can hit up Luke at redmattersite.com. And today we're going to talk about this long-awaited Frank Ocean album called Blond. And that's Blonde with no E. Now this one was going to be called Boys Don't Cry, but he switched it over. And don't get this confused with the other project that Frank dropped recently called Endless. I actually didn't check that one out at all because I knew this one was coming. And right from the beginning I want everyone to know that I was not one of these people who was just anxiously, crazily foaming at the mouth for this new Frank Ocean album. I did think that Channel Orange was a dope project and Frank is an amazing vocalist, but I wasn't one of those fans who was going rabid for this one. But I'd be lying to you if I said I wasn't curious, because it does have a little bit of mystique around it, but that mystique didn't really blind me as I listened to this and reviewed it. And honestly, I gotta say, that first single, Nikes, really threw me off because I thought it sounded awful. I didn't like the way the beat plodded along, and he also made use of these high-pitched vocals as well as some auto-tuning, so this whole song was kind of sloppy to me, even though there were some nice references on here. He shouts out rest in pieces to Pimp C, ASAP Yams, and Trayvon Martin, and I know there is some deeper content with this track, but I just could not get into it at all because I thought sonically it did not sound good, and this was one of my least favorite tracks, so to have the album open up with that really threw me for a bit of a loop, but luckily this album does get better. Now you are going to hear those high-pitched vocals once again on Self-Control, just on the intro and the first chorus, but overall this song is still really beautiful. I like that soft guitar production, and you're getting some really great vocal blends on that outro as well. This one just has Frank reminiscing about what seems to be a past love, and there's also some words about summer in there, so this one kind of brings about some classic feelings of summer love and just maybe a past love that you missed out on, like you didn't take full advantage of it. Maybe you think about this person from time to time. That's just the sort of vibe that I get on this one, and through the songwriting, Frank Ocean does a good job of connecting people with these types of ideas by sharing his thoughts about love and also some of his other experiences as well. Like on Good Guy, which wasn't one of my favorite tracks, but it was interesting how he just told the story of this date that he went on to a gay bar where he quickly realized that the shit was not going to work out. And on the track that is one of my favorites on here, Solo, we get these great vocals on the hook. That shit actually made me shiver a little bit and gave me some goosebumps. And here we have Frank telling the story of how you can meet someone outside of a party, sleep with them, and then the next thing you know you're dealing with some baby mama drama and just trying to sort that shit out. So I thought the idea of that song was really cool, and I liked the overall sound of that one. That one was by far one of my favorites. And since I just brought up the song Solo, obviously I gotta talk about the solo Reprise, which is just one verse from Andre 3000, who shows up once in a while just to remind us all that he has those fire bars and can still spit with the best of them, even though we still haven't gotten that solo record, which I hope we do get eventually. Although, you know, The Love Below, that was kind of his solo record, but you know what I'm saying, that one was connected with Speakerbox. I'm talking about a straight out solo that is just him, and hopefully we get that someday. But anyway, about his feature on here, I really like what he's spitting about. He brings up how there's so many police killings that at this point he's numb, which I think a lot of people can relate to, because how often do you log on to Twitter to see another hashtag about a police murder, or even some of the mass shootings that go on, man? It just happens all the time, and as a society we're kind of desensitized, so I thought it was interesting how he brought that up. And he also has this line about how he's just kind of tired of the ghostwriting going on in hip-hop. Now, a lot of people took that as a shot at Drake, but I think that's kind of a stretch. A lot of people think everything is a shot at everybody, but sometimes a rapper is just saying what they think. And in this instance, I think Andre is just talking as a legend and pioneer in hip-hop, how, you know, that's not really how the game should go in his opinion. He's used to that real shit where everyone writes their own rhymes, and he's a true artist himself. So I understand what he was going with that one, and that is just a really dope song and a great feature. And oddly enough, you're going to get two other big name features on here, Beyonce and Kendrick Lamar. But it's kind of interesting because all Beyonce does is a couple of outro vocals on Pink and White, which is another favorite of mine because we get this warm and fuzzy piano production from Pharrell. And then you're going to hear Kendrick Lamar on Skyline too, but as far as I know, all he's doing is a couple of ad-libs, just throwing out a couple of words. And this one wasn't really one of my favorite tracks either. I found it to be kind of dull, but I just found it interesting how he got these people on here who are such big name artists that people would kill for to have on their album, and he just has them on here like, hey, you can hit some backups if you want, maybe throw in a couple ad-libs, but that's all you're going to get when you're on Frank Ocean's album, damn it. Unless you're Andre 3000, then you're going to get that full-fledged solo little feature on yourself, and that was a standout moment for sure. But where I think this album is going to lose some people is with the production, because it is a little bit different. I already mentioned the weird sounds happening on Nikes, and then on the song Futura Free, we do get some good content, because this just has Frank talking about his past, how he's known Tyler all his life, and he used to work for $7 an hour, so he's come a long way, as you can see. But this one also has some of those weird vocal choices, lots of different auto-tune and weird effects, and the production is kind of spacey and warbly, so that was a more experimental track as well that I wasn't feeling, but some people might. And a lot of this production is very stripped back and minimalistic, with a severe lack of drums. So the only song in here that I found to be kind of mainstream, if you could even say that, is Nights, because it does have that use of drums, and this is a great song that has a really dope beat switch up on the second half, where it goes into this very wavy, late night type of feel. And on this song, Frank is just dealing with his relationships, some honesty issues and trust issues. So again, you have good content and quality songwriting all over this one, which is a big part of what makes this great. Not to mention that Frank Ocean also has amazing vocals, which I brought up at the start, and you're going to hear it on a lot of these songs. I already said on Solo how I was getting some chills from that chorus, and on Godspeed, he is just really hitting those notes, man. This is a really dope track. You also get some vocals from Kim Burrell on the outro as well, so I like this song as far as the vocals go. But again, the production didn't do much for me, and there are a lot of songs on here that I can't see myself coming back to for that reason. On the first listen, I kind of felt this at about a 3 because it was a bit jarring as far as the overall sound with this album goes. But after I listened to it some more, I came to realize that I really appreciate the songwriting, the vocals, and there are a couple of songs on here that I can come back to. But in the end, I give a 3.5 out of 5 to this one. It's not a 4 or higher because I definitely can't listen to this from start to finish. I skip through a lot of moments, and I also have to be in a certain mood to listen to this one because a lot of it is very moody and dark at times, including the song Seigfried. I actually like this track because the singing, once again, is top notch, and it's just a heartfelt track, man. This shit is sad. It's the type of song I could picture a drunk person listening to late at night by themselves when they got a little bit left in the bottle and they're just singing along with it like, I'm not brave. Because on this track, Frank is going into detail about, you know what, maybe he should just slow down and live that traditional lifestyle where he has kids and a pool, just him and his partner just chilling. But, you know, he doesn't really want to do that. He wants to stick to his lifestyle and what he wants to do. So I guess you could question what bravery really is. Is bravery sticking true to who you are, or is it taking that chance and being traditional in spite of what some people might think as far as you being a sellout or something like that? So that was another interesting track, very heartfelt and sad. There's a lot of stories and emotions all over this project. There's no way I could touch on everything, so whatever I missed that you like, hit me up in the comment section with that, and just let me know your thoughts about this in general. Especially if you're a Frank Ocean fan, I want to know if this lived up to all of your expectations. I thought it was a really dope record. I don't know if I'm going to call it a classic, but you know what, it's pretty good, and I went into this not as a major Frank Ocean fan, and I do like this project, so it is what it is. Hit me up in the comment section, do all that good YouTube and social media stuff, you know how it goes. Like my videos, share them, retweet them, subscribe to my channel, all that good stuff. Thank you for watching, everybody. I will see you next time.